North Dakota is known across the country for the work ethic of its people. Last July, Business Week publicized findings of a 2010 Bureau of Labor Statistics time use survey. It declared North Dakota as the most active state in the nation. It found that North Dakotans sleep a half hour less than people in other states. They watch TV 20 minutes less, socialize 4 minutes less, and relax 4 minutes less each day. But North Dakotans work 1.5 hours more each day than the average American. It may come as no surprise that North Dakotans are busier than their counterparts in other states. You are busy on your farms, with your businesses, in your homes, in your communities, taking care of your families, enjoying your friends. With so many demands on your time, should you have to worry about your electrical service? Should you spend precious time out of your busy days trying to comprehend such industry issues as electrical infrastructure, load management data, and outage averages? Should you even have to think about generation mix or climate change legislation? After all, these industry issues and many others profoundly impact your electrical use and thus your lifestyle. But no, fortunately, you as a Dakota Valley member don't have to be immersed in these issues. That's because you belong to a cooperative that is looking out for you. In 2010, your cooperative board of directors represented you in every stage of its many discussions on member rates. Because Dakota Valley is a member-owned cooperative, the rates it charges are not set by the Public Service Commission. They are set by the board of directors, people you elect each year from Dakota Valley Electric's 9 member districts. These board members work hard to understand the many issues that affect the electric industry. More than 10 years ago, they recognized and began to prepare for a cyclical change in power supply. The past paradigm of power had characterized cooperative power supply for decades. It began in 1961 when distribution cooperatives like Dakota Valley joined together to form a generation and transmission cooperative known as Basin Electric Power Cooperative. Today, Basin sells wholesale power to Dakota Valley and 135 other cooperatives in 9 states. It is one of the largest generation and transmission cooperatives in the country. To supply all its cooperatives with their energy needs, Basin began building generation facilities in the 1960s, 70s, and 80s. It developed coal mines. It built several coal-based power plants. It assumed ownership of the nation's only gasification plant. These energy facilities provided more than enough power for member cooperatives for decades. It was a given that cooperatives served by Basin Electric benefited from an ample supply of energy. They even shared in profits obtained from surplus sales on the open energy market. But then, in the early 2000s, Basin cooperatives such as Dakota Valley could see the handwriting on the wall. We understood that demand for power would increase significantly. We studied energy supply projections that indicated cooperative members would be demanding more power than Basin could supply. Above all, we understood a primary cooperative obligation was looking out for you, the members, by assuring you of reliable, affordable supply of energy. So we Basin cooperatives again banded together. We went into construction mode. We built wind farms, recovered waste heat, and studied other renewable options such as hydrogen and biomass. And in the early 2000s, we began the long, arduous process of planning and siting additional coal and gas-based power plants. Recently, one of those plants, Dry Fork Station near Gillette, Wyoming, went online. Another power plant, the 300-megawatt Deer Creek Station near Elkton, South Dakota, will go online in 2012. These power facilities, along with Basin's renewable sources, will help stabilize the growing demand for energy. Basin projects that once Deer Creek is completed, its cooperative will have an adequate power supply all the way through 2020. It is clear that Basin goes above and beyond when it comes to looking out for its members. As a Basin co-op, we cannot overstate the value of belonging to such a system. But that assurance comes with a price. The power plants that we built decades ago still afford us with an impressive supply of energy. But the cost of new generation is much, much higher than the cost associated with power generated from Basin's first facilities. This cost, of course, must be borne by us, the users. Therefore, Dakota Valley and other Basin distribution co-ops are seeing the cost of wholesale power increase. Though it has come as no surprise, the need to raise rates is taken seriously by your directors. They discuss and debate the issue intensely before implementing rate changes. Just as they raised rates in 2008 and 2009, they announced increases to all Dakota Valley rate classifications in 2010. As forecast, Projections indicate that during the next several years, basin systems will continue to see power cost increases. And it's easy to see why when you consider the cost of materials used in power plant construction. Prices for metals such as copper, aluminum, and steel increased in some cases by more than 200% in 2010 alone. Looking on the bright side, however, we can be proud of the vision with which Basin has developed generation. Its Dry Fork Station is likely one of the last coal-based power plants to be permitted in the nation. Shortly after Basin launched this 422 megawatt station, public sentiment turned against the use of coal as a generation source. The theory that greenhouse gases emitted into the atmosphere cause global warming went from a public question to public consensus. As a consequence of the public's endorsement of the theory of climate change, plans for 16 coal-based power plants were abandoned in 2007 alone. Another 36 were delayed that same year. In this discussion and other public debates, Dakota Valley and Basin Electric have for years been looking out for you. We have advocated for reasonable regulations on coal-based power plants and asked for time to develop carbon capture technology that would lower emissions of gases. We will continue to look out for the best interests of our members as this debate goes on. In the meantime, Dakota Valley is affected by other concerns. In 2010, our crews set a co-op record, completing more work orders than during any previous year in our history. While a portion of those work orders were for new services, most of them were to improve existing infrastructure. Millerton, Dickey, Adrian, Hankinson, Oaks, Culm, Fredonia, Forbes. These are some of the areas where Dakota Valley line crews renewed the system. Just as they installed miles and miles of new line in certain areas, our crews also answered calls from farmers throughout the service area. Good commodity prices combined with favorable weather resulted in an extraordinary year on the farm. Along with that success comes growth. Farms continue to expand, and as they do, they require additional capacity. In 2010 alone, Dakota Valley crews upgraded service on 105 farms. Improving service and reliability. Dakota Valley takes a lot of pride in looking out for you. As we traverse through yet another year of service, we continue to examine processes, equipment, and technology that will enhance responsiveness. We have embraced a number of technologies that improve service. Computerized mapping combined with automatic vehicle location allows us to dispatch crews on service calls more efficiently. Our computerized load management technology allows us to offer you discounted rates on electric heating, water heating, air conditioning, grain drying, and irrigation. Dakota Valley will continue to look out for you as it considers other emerging technology and processes. In 2010, your cooperative formed member advisory groups in each of its 9 districts. These members met several times to provide input to the Dakota Valley Board and Management on issues that concern them. Your cooperative appreciates the contribution these members make. They have taken time from their busy schedules to assist us in looking out for you. As they do so, they give us perspective on the people that comprise our membership. Apparently, they are typical North Dakotans, busy, bright, energetic, and engaged, and among the most active folks in the nation.